Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Disney Dust. It's DisneyDwayne here, and we're going to be talking about the final movie, Avengers Endgame, to the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe that we know of today. And of course, it's been years and years and years, and this is really epic because it's the second time, almost, since Infinity War, that we're going to be seeing so many characters come together in a story that concludes each and every one of their stories. So, big epic wait, and I'm excited to dive right into it, which also means that I'm going to be spoiling some of this movie. So if you haven't watched it, please click away and please come back only to discuss this when you've seen it. Okay, so right off the bat, let's talk about some major things that we see happen in the second movie. The characters, like Black Widow, you see Iron Man, you see everybody, Thor, grieving in their own way, and that is a very powerful thing. I think the movies before that, you don't actually see that much of a sense of loss that we see here, and how much they mean to each other. So this is a very wonderful thing, and to see how everybody has their own way of grieving. It's very human, and it gives that human quality to this big superhero sort of movie franchise thing. So I like that very much. The other thing I like is also how the story unfolds. It keeps us engaged throughout the whole movie, even though it is 3 hours long. And so I hope you didn't miss part of it because you had to go to the restroom. Please do go to the restroom if you haven't seen this movie. Then again, please click away if you haven't seen this movie. It ended in a very, very nice way. I liked how it ended. However, I have to say that what spoiled it for me was the device of time travel. Now I'm going to get into quite a big portion, or I'm going to spend quite a bit of time at least talking about this. Now, time traveling to me feels like a cheap cop-out. When you're stuck in a story and you don't know how to write a solution to it, when you end up putting the characters into such a corner like they did in Infinity War, how do you make them win at the end of the day? Time traveling, I was hoping they wouldn't go there, but they did go there. So this is what I think about time traveling. It opens up a can of worms that is very, very hard to control, because we don't really understand time traveling as a race, I think. And of course this movie, laughs at itself by saying, oh, are we like Back to the Future or this and that, or A Wrinkle in Time? And it says that time traveling is different to what Back to the Future portrays it as. But I think time traveling is even more different to that, because the very fact that you can travel or time travel at any point in time means that the entire timeline is opened to time traveling, right? That's the only possibility. And when you do that, it just means that at any point in time, if you want to change something, you can change it. So even if they win the day, it doesn't mean they've won the day. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I feel about time traveling. It's like a little bit of a cheap device. It's sort of like you're watching this movie and it's so exciting, or something really dramatic happens or substantial happens, and then they tell you, oh, it's just a nightmare. It's that kind of a thing. So I wasn't happy with the fact that they were using time traveling. However, it was interesting how everything unfolded. It was interesting how Thanos knew about the fact that there were visitors from the future. So that added a layer to a story that we already knew that we didn't know before. But also the fact that recovering the stones was something they had to do once again to save the day. I mean, it wasn't as exciting. I actually preferred the first movie because there were things happening and they were just trying so hard to stop Thanos. But here they're trying to win the day again, and the picking up the pieces just it wasn't as fast-paced to me. The other thing that was disturbing for me was how just because half the population of the world went missing or died, just because of that, I don't think the world should stop like it did in the movie. I mean, it showed an empty stadium. It showed chairs up on tables, things just completely stopping to operate. So I don't believe humans would do that ideally. I think humans would still play sports. I think they would find means to continue on with their lives, and it's just too bleak a future. But I like the fact that they didn't go back to the past, that they continued on with their own future and try to fix it within that timeline. So that was good. Yeah. In any case, I still have some questions about the movie that maybe I might sound stupid asking, but where was Gamora at Tony's funeral? I didn't see her standing with the rest of the bunch. Also, if Steve Rogers went back in time to return the stones and decided to stay there and grow old before coming back, then wasn't there another Steve Rogers back in time that... Like, basically, did he steal his younger self's life from him by living his life in the wrong timeline? Correct me if I'm wrong, but like I'm not sure what went on there. So that's all. So all in all, I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. I'm sorry if I can't give it more. I know Rotten Tomatoes and probably has given it a really high score, but that's how I feel about this movie. Of course, this makes me want to go back and revisit all the other movies once again to, right up to this movie, to see how it all comes together. And I'm sure I'll get a better picture if I watch them in sequential order, but also within a short amount of time. If you've enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. If not, see you in the next episode for more exciting movies that we're going to be talking about. Catch you next time. Bye.